What's going on, people? Welcome to an In Motion Football live stream. We have the next iteration of the offseason preview series. We got the Vikings and the Niners for this stream. We got two teams that are in a unique situation. This is the wrong stream that's highlighted. But yeah, two teams that are in a unique situation because they had a lot of injuries to players that last year that are going to be important players to their teams next year. So that kind of makes from an offseason preview standpoint, it makes the situation a little bit complicated because we don't really know what to expect from, again, key players for both these teams. So that's the reason why these two teams are being looked at together, because they're actually uniquely or they're similarly in some in a unique situation. So that's what it is, people. We are about to get into the first team, which is, let me make the window bigger. Before I wait, what? Okay, before I get into this, make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe to the channel In Motion Football. If you're watching this on replay, you have the same opportunity to support the content. So make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We are going to start with the Minnesota Vikings. Where are they at? The Minnesota Vikings. Okay, so here we are, right? Who are the Minnesota Vikings? Last year, by EPA, they were the... Where are they? Am I tripping? Where are they? 16. The 16th offense by EPA. And defensively, the third defense by EPA. So basically, shout out to Brian Flores. But yeah, in terms of the outlook for the team, the defense was very solid. They are extremely well coached. Brian Flores is amazing at what he does. He deserves all the credit for everything that's happened with the Vikings defense these last 2 years. And then offensively, I think the 16 might be a little bit not like it's more an indictment on Darnold, if anything. I think KOC is great. I think Jefferson, Addison, and Hawkinson are great. I think Aaron Jones is functional. Let me see. So EPA per rush and per pass, better team passing than rushing. It's not surprising. And then when we look at Minnesota, they're kind of clustered in the middle of the teams when it comes to guaranteed money on the books. So they're a fairly average team in terms of spending and the ability to spend. Again, offense that their output was average statistically, but the defense was amazing. When it comes to what they're losing, actually, some kind of big losses. You have Sam Darnold, obviously, who was the quarterback that was playing last year, which some people would say is a good thing. Some people would not. Yeah, no, I saw it. I just here, hold on. Let me drop the link here. Just pop by backstage and put the URL to your Facebook account in the private chat. But yeah, and then defensively, the pieces that sorry, hold on, I forgot Aaron Jones. Losing Aaron Jones and Cam Akers, so they're starting from ground zero at the running back spot. Defensively, you're missing Bullard, a pass rusher who was not quite the superstar that Greenard is or Grenard. You're losing Tillery, so some functional players along the defensive line. The big losses, though, are in the secondary. Byron Murphy, Pro Bowl player from last year. Cam Bynum, solid player, generates turnovers. And then Stephon Gilmore, who his best days are behind him, but still a quality player who played a lot of football. So they're losing huge pieces in the secondary, and they're losing their quarterback. So there's going to be a lot of turnover for this team. When it comes to how they're replacing those big losses, they're replacing Sam Darnold as of now, with JJ McCarthy, who did not play football last year. Played in one preseason game and then had, I think, a meniscus issue. So that's a huge thing there. We don't really know what to expect from JJ McCarthy. He's 22 years old. He's still one of the youngest quarterbacks in football. He's fresh off a major knee injury. We didn't see him take NFL snaps. We don't know what to expect. So they might have a Sam Darnold upgrade, or they might have a Sam Darnold downgrade. We have no idea. And then in the secondary, one of their big losses last year in the offseason was Mekhi Blackman. Tore his ACL in training camp and was supposed to be a starting corner. So considering that they're losing both their starting corners, from last year. They're not going to bring in two. But yeah, they're not going to bring in two. He's definitely going to play. So if you look at the two spots where they're going to go, where they're going to undergo major change, you have players that are coming off major injuries replacing the players that they're losing. It's hard to really tell what they're going to get. So it's hard to say, do they have these major needs that they're going to fail to fulfill? Or if, let's say, McCarthy and Blackman are both going to be amazing next year, then I would say they almost like they don't have those positions aren't major needs and they can address some other parts of their team. In terms of where the rest of the team is at, from an offensive personnel standpoint, they're they're good enough at receiver, they're good enough at offensive tackle, and they're good enough at tight end. What needs to be upgraded is the interior of the offensive line and the running back. Well, the running back room, not even about upgrading. You just got to get players in. So yeah, that's going to be the assignment. Outside of the quarterback position. In terms of the quarterback position, I think the answer is right here. I think they should sign a backup who, if he has to play, can play. But if he doesn't play, it's not going to be like a Kirk Cousins issue where the guy's pissed off. For example, I think if they were to pay Sam Darnold and then they benched him, he would be pissed off. So that's the thing. Like, I actually don't think they should, and they could sign Sam Darnold. I think Daniel Jones is, in a way, kind of a better option because, one, KLC is a magician when it comes to the quarterback position. So you're probably going to get the best Daniel Jones if he has to see the field. If he doesn't see the field, I doubt he's going to complain. And yeah, if he sees the field, he literally has won a playoff game in Minnesota before. Like, it's possible you could get a Sam Darnold season out of Daniel Jones. So I think Daniel Jones is the answer. They had him in house. They're probably comfortable with him. That's what I think they should do at the quarterback spot. So again, offensively, I'm paying Daniel Jones. I'm getting ready to play JJ McCarthy, and we're bolstering the interior of the line and the running back room. Neither of which are like first round pick kind of picks. Actually, no, I lied. They should go guard in the first round. But if not, then they should go defense. I don't think they should go. You know what though? They could go running back in the first round. You know what? They got options. But yeah, they got to upgrade the running back room and the interior of the offensive line. That part is pretty simple. If they do, man, they could see that EPA shoot up from 16 to 2. Like, they could have an amazing offense next year if things break right. But again, it's a very complicated situation to look at because what are they missing? He's not ready. He's a good QB, but he needs one more season on the bench. So here's the thing. I understand the fact that he might not be ready because he's 22 and because he's coming off a knee injury. But I almost think that, like, if they were to spend money on a serious quarterback, it just feels like a waste of money because I feel like they get the best production they could possibly get out of every quarterback. When Joshua Dobbs had to play in that offense, he's a horrible player, but he played okay. Sam Darnold, another player a lot of people don't believe in. He got put in that system, and he was good. He's gonna get paid. I think Kevin O'Connell, he gets like the best he could he gets a lot of best case scenarios out of quarterbacks, and I just think because you have that coach, you can play McCarthy. I agree that he's not it's not ideal to play a 22-year-old off a major knee injury. I wouldn't play him in 30 teams in the NFL. But Minnesota is one of the teams I think that can bring along a young quarterback. So I'm looking to spend the money on building the team around him as good as I can. I'm trying to get him a great offensive line and a good running back. And you know what? It's time to like push the bird out of the nest, sink or swim. But yeah, that's just my opinion. Defensively, they have to get corners. I think their front seven is going to be okay. Like I said, they're not losing superstars in Bullard and Tillery. I think they can replace both those free agents. For those of you who are maybe new to this series, this website that I use, the players in green are their free agents. So these are the players that they're going to lose. They have to go hard replacing the pieces in the secondary. So in terms of Bynum, Murphy, and Gilmore, I think Blackman is basically your Gilmore replacement. But you got to replace two high-level players in Bynum and Murphy. So that's going to be difficult. While you replace both those players, you're still going to be playing Harrison Smith in your secondary. that's definitely a risk considering how old he is. So you'd like to have good safety depth. But yeah, Minnesota Vikings, they have a complicated offseason to navigate. You don't really know what you're you don't really know what you're going to get back from Blackman and McCarthy, but I think that they should just play them both, factor in that they're going to produce at an acceptable level, and build the team around both those players. The other team we're going to look at today, San Francisco 49ers, who I just did a stream about an hour ago talking about the Deebo Samuel trade. So this website hasn't updated yet. Deebo Samuel is no longer on the San Francisco 49ers. Deebo Samuel is on the Washington Commanders. So when we look at the San Francisco 49ers last year, they were the 9th offense in football by EPA, and they were where are they? 22nd ranked defense in the NFL by EPA. So if we look at their offense, they're basically bringing back the entire offense minus Deebo Samuel and minus Aaron Banks. Interesting thing is those that they basically didn't have Christian McCaffrey and they didn't have Brandon Ayuk. So the way Deebo played last year, you should like. They also didn't have Ricky Pearsall. Basically, in terms of getting a healthy Pearsall and a healthy Ayuk, that should be an upgrade on Deebo Samuel on itself, like in and of itself, right? Aaron Banks also, for what it's worth, a liability, somebody that they would have had to upgrade even if he was under contract. So you're talking about the 9th ranked offense by EPA in football, who was missing a bunch of pieces, and they're bringing them back. If everybody plays the way they're supposed to play, they should be upgrading their offense. They should be a better offense next year, and they should probably be in the top 5, right? The only issue is that, like, do we know for sure what we're getting? Brandon Ayuk, I think, tore his ACL, and then he tore something else as well. So in terms of multi-ligament knee injuries, some players are never the same again. Some players are. But what's for sure is that, like, that first year back can be a struggle, right? Year 2 off of a major knee injury, I think you can expect Ayuk to look like himself. But year 1 might be a stretch. And then when it comes to McCaffrey, you're talking about a guy that was navigating calf, Achilles, and ankle injuries. I think last year he was mainly dealing with the Achilles, but before that it was the calf. He's had, lower body injuries for a few years now. He's somebody who's had a lot of workload in the NFL. He's touched the ball quite a bit at Stanford and in San Francisco. So, I mean, you're looking at a player who the wear and tear is starting to catch up. If we get normal Christian McCaffrey, it should be great. But can we say for sure that we're going to get that? I don't know. So it's a complicated situation. McCaffrey and Ayuk are both going to be very important players for them next year, with Deebo Samuel no longer being on the team. But what can they expect from them? Hard to tell. Defensively, they had the 22nd defense by EPA last year. I will go Vikings first round pick will be Will Johnson, cornerback. If he falls that far, that's a home run pick, but I don't think he's going to fall that far. But yeah, back to the Niners. 22nd ranked defense by EPA. They're missing, to be honest, important players. Charvarius Ward, that's a starter. Hufanga, that's a solid player. Greenlaw only started to play towards the end of the year last year, but Devondre Campbell was a mess, so there is a big hole at linebacker. Javon Hargrave missed almost the entire year last year with a triceps injury, but the defensive line was not good around Bosa. So the big upgrade they've made already defensively is they upgraded from Sorensen to Robert Saleh. They have an elite defensive coach again. So that's phenomenal for them. But truthfully, the personnel is terrible. Like, again, and I'm talking about you factor in the loss of 2 starters in the secondary, no Greenlaw, and returning a defensive line around Bosa last year that failed Bosa. This defense needs a ton of work. So when it comes to, I think, the Niners' approach, and again, this is why they need to rely so much on McCaffrey and Ayuk, is because they need to put all their resources into the defense. Not literally all of them, but they need to be investing heavily on the defensive side of the ball. They got to have at least, like, look, Malik Collins and Jordan Elliott are the returning defensive tackles. You got to go get at least 2 playable defensive tackles, right? Leonard Floyd and Nick Bosa are the returning edge rushers, you need at least 2 playable defensive ends. You need at least 1 playable linebacker, and you need at least 2 starters in the secondary. So you're talking about needing what is that? What did I just run off? 5 starters and 2 playable players. The Niners need quite a bit on the defense from a personnel standpoint. Robert Saleh, an elite coach, but as an elite coach, he still needs personnel that fits what he wants to do. So they're going to have to get creative in terms of, there's not enough money for them, I think. Yeah. So they're one of the more expensive rosters in football, the 4th most expensive roster by guaranteed money. Again, this is an original thing I've put together. I guess a chart to show where every team is at in terms of guaranteed money, which is the main thing. Niners are the 4th highest team in football and fairly high up at that. So they don't have a ton of money to spend. They do have a lot of needs defensively. So they're going to have to, again, draft in numbers, hope that the picks hit. But because they have to draft in numbers and they have to spend money on the defensive side of the ball, there's not going to be a whole lot to spend on the offensive side of the ball. And when they do, my assumption is that it's going to be on the offensive line. They're going to go and get better in the trenches. So with that being said, with that plan at attacking this offseason, McCaffrey and Ayuk have to produce. If they show up and they don't have good seasons, the Niners will struggle from a weapon standpoint. But like, they're going to struggle from a weapon standpoint, but like, if they play well, it could work out. This is why it's such a complicated situation. This is why, the fact that they don't know for sure what they're getting from McCaffrey and Ayuk makes it hard for them to appropriately plan for what their needs are. So this is the thing. This is why the Niners and the Vikings were in the same category, because they both have this complicated thing to navigate in the offseason of these key players that we're relying on next year. What can we reasonably expect? Because they both had all the players involved had major injuries last year, missed a lot of time. I think all of them missed just about the entire year. Maybe Ayuk played a little bit. But yeah, you're talking about players who missed time, are coming off major knee injuries, and vitally needing them to be good if you want to have hopes of being a well-rounded team. So both of these teams are going to need some draft luck, I think, to hedge their bets. But yeah, complicated situation. We're going to wrap this stream up. Yeah, Jared, bro, I'm going to add you. I'm going to find you. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this stream up, and then I'm going to open up the next stream in about 5 minutes. The next stream is about the Cardinals and the Falcons, the 2 teams that are just about mid in every way possible. So that's what we're going to get into now. We have 3 streams left. This is going to be the 3rd last one, and that's what we're going to do. Cardinals, Falcons. Again, if you're here, I am going to drop the link in the chat so that it's easy for you guys to get there. Like I said, shout out to everybody in here. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We will be here. So here it is, people. We're going to end this stream pretty shortly and then start this stream up. Falcons and Cardinals. The 2 teams that are aggressively mid in every way possible. This season, Purdy needs to perform more. Niners need defensive tackle, linebacker, corner, running back, safety. This is true. Yeah, I saw it, Jared. This is definitely true. They have all these needs, and because they need to address these needs, they're gonna be relying on Ayuk and McCaffrey to look like how they looked pre-injury. And again, that's a complete gamble, and nobody knows the answer about how that's going to turn out. And we're going to find out in September. But yeah, like I said, people, I'm going to end this stream. Shout out to everybody that's in here. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to end this stream now. We're going to go here to a stream that's about to start in 5 minutes. Hit the like button there as well, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Niners going to have the same season like, damn, bro. Damn. That's a hell of a way to end the stream. But yeah, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Head over here. I'm going to be starting up in like 3-4 minutes.